This is up to you. Let's ask about the fruit of compassion. We already have the feather. We got that much earlier. The fruit of compassion is extremely rare. It can only be given, never taken or bought. I have heard rumors of but one plant in the entire land where you might find this. There are tales told to me of a woman transformed into a plant through a jinni's spell. She stands like a tree somewhere out in the desert, but it is said she bears no fruit. You should talk to the enchantress Aziza, for she would know more about this than I. Alright, let's go find Aziza. Oh, wrong button, sorry. We want to bring out the map again, and leave. And go to Aziza's place. Thing about the Earth Elemental, you have until day 14 to kill it, and you have until day 16 to do all this stuff if you want the points. But, as mentioned earlier, do it as early as possible. Currently we are on day 12 at the mid-morning. We have burned a little bit of time looking for the dervish and the beast, and fighting the Earth Elemental. We'll go ahead and greet her. And go ahead and take our seat. Positively answer yes for the tea. And speak with her about, I think it's under daily news, fruit of compassion. That is indeed a sad tale. Let me show you of that which we speak. We got points for it. I will tell you of a time long ago when women wore veils and were but wives and chattel to men. There was a woman, a beautiful woman, a loving woman, who wished with her very soul to become a healer and thus aid others. Just the facts, ma'am. Her father tried to dissuade her, saying that this was no task for a woman of her gentleness and sensitivity. She would go about her duties quietly, but each evening she would tell him again that she wished to become a healer. At last her father gave in, and she was trained in the art of healing, despite the jeers and condescension of the male students and teachers. She became a healer and removed her veil forever. Right. She soon discovered that life was not easy for a woman healer. Many men distrusted her skills and refused to call upon her. Some men called upon her only to take advantage of her beauty. One day a man came to her and told the tale of his brother dying in the desert. She did not quite trust this manner trust his manner of looking at her, but she could not refuse aid to one who might need it. She followed him out of the city and into the desert. She was led to an encampment of ragged tents. She soon learned to her sorrow that the tale of the brother was but a lie. These were brigands, and what they did with her I shall not say. She tried to escape them the next day and ran to the mountains to hide. They were swift to follow. They had nearly recaptured her, and she called aloud for help. A jinni heard her cry and transformed her into a tree. You could be the one to give her back her soul and free her heart from wood. You will try this, hero, will you not? Right. There are 3 things you must give her to save her soul: a gift of kindness, a gift of magic, and a gift of love. The gift of kindness is simple. It is only what you would give to someone who has been in the desert far too long. You must then tell her about yourself, remind her what it is to be human. Your words are as important as the gift, for they give meaning to the act. The gift of magic is the gift of sacrifice. The gift must be something you gain through hardship and from aiding others. It must also be something from which a plant can regain strength. Tell her then how you got the gift and why. You will be reminding her of why she became a healer. The last gift again is simple, a mere gesture of affection. Remind her that there are still people in the world who care about others. Finally, there is something you need to say to her, to remind her who she is. Her name is Julinar, flower of the pomegranate. When you have done this, your part in the tale will be complete. Julinar will not be able to walk this land as a human woman until another frees her with the power of true love, but you can at least free her spirit by giving her these gifts. Right. What's a pomegranate? I apologize for the untimely pauses. I skipped a little bit of dialogue. I think all she did was wish me luck in there, which is fine by me. I've been practicing doing pauses in the middle of the game to get a feel for it for later Let's Plays, so we'll go ahead and thank her for her hints, say goodbye, and take her leave. We're armed with our knowledge to get the fruit, so we'll go ahead and open the gate, get on our Saurus, and Julinar is to the far east. So we'll go east until we can no longer go east. And there's our tree. Alright, let's go ahead and get off. Our first gift that we have to give her is something that a plant in the desert would need to survive. I think the most obvious answer there is water, so let's go ahead and take our cursor and give the tree some water. The water, as you pour it out on the ground, quickly sinks into the soil and vanishes. Alright, so we've gotten points for that. That's a proper thing to do. We have to tell her about ourselves. I figured I'd run into this problem. Okay. I find myself tongue-tied as I try to tell my story. This communication thing here, if it's not high enough, you fail at telling stories. So we'll have to fail a few times until our storytelling goes high enough. Perhaps you should try again. You discover how poor a speaker you are as you listen to yourself. You couldn't convince anyone of anything. You stutter as you start to speak and you can't think of anything to say. You just haven't talked enough to gain the skill to convince a tree of anything. As you begin to speak, you realize you are just saying whatever comes into your head. You need to stop and think for a moment about what you're going to say and how to say it. Then you might start again. Forget it. Come back when you've overcome your speech impediment. So there's that little laugh of lines, I guess. That's the last line that you'll get. You'll get that line every time until your speech skill gets high enough. So just keep talking until you say the right thing. I'm going to go ahead and pause until I get to that point. Alright, that didn't take too long. You tell her how you took the famous Adventurer's Correspondence course and journeyed to Spielberg to become a hero. You mention how you came to Chapayer and the things you've seen or you've done here so far. Alright, so we have that. She has turned to look at us. The next is a gift that would help a plant. We have some dirt, but it needs to be magical.